Welcome to episode 6 of this series. In this episode, we are looking at layers. Now, layers are just transparent tracing paper that we can put on each other, and then because they are transparent, whatever we draw on each paper can be viewed from the top. So what AutoCAD does is that it allows you to draw different objects on different papers so that at the end, when we put them all together, they look like one object. So for example, if I am drawing, I can decide to put all walls on one layer, all doors and windows on another layer, so that if at any point in time I only want to see the walls, I can disable the rest of the layers and only walls will be shown in AutoCAD. So why do we even need layers? Now, layers allow us to organize our drawings very well. It also makes your work look very professional, and it shows that you know what you are doing. It's just like having an office that is very well organized, so that everything that you need, you know where to go to. So to set up layers, we go to the layer properties under the home tab. Once we click on the layer properties, we have our layer properties box opening. Here we can add layers, we can remove layers, we can edit existing layers and do anything that we want with our layers. So to add a new layer, there is this stack of papers with a yellow star. Once we click on that, we are given an option to rename our layer, so we can name it anyhow we want depending on what particular work you are doing. There is a bulb that looks yellow when the layer is on, and when it is off, it will always look blue. We can also freeze or lock the layer such that nothing can be drawn or deleted from that particular layer when the lock is on. Then we can set our layer to either print or not to print, such that if the printer is on, then it means that when we print our drawing after, it will appear on our printout. Then we can select the line weight of the line that we want to draw. For instance, when we are drawing, we need visible lines to be thicker than construction lines or extension lines. So we set up our line weight to actually show what we are drawing. So let's set up some layers. Let's look at the construction layer. Let's look at the hidden layer. And then let's look at center line layer and then the visible line layer. We are going to change the color of each layer just to show the difference between the different layers. And then we are going to change the line weight of the visible line so that it is different from all other lines. Then we are also going to change the line type of the hidden layer and the center line layer because they are not continuous lines. They are lines that have their own special line types. To change the line type, we click on the line type of that particular layer, and then we are given an option to load a lot of line types. We select the particular one that we want from the line types that we have, so that for instance, if it's a center line, we go for the center line types. There are about 3 or 4 of them that AutoCAD gives you. Later on in our next episodes, we will set up a template for which all these line types and line weights will be in for us to always use for our own advantage. Now that we have set up the layers, let's draw some lines with those layers. To draw on a particular layer, there are two ways. Either you draw first and then you select the layer, or you select the layer so that you can draw on it. I would recommend that you select that layer and then you draw on it rather than finishing your drawing, because you might forget to change the layers after. So here we can see that depending on how we set up our layers, each line looks different because they are drawn on different layers. You can always put on your bulb or off to show or hide a layer. So let's draw the three views of an object as an example of using layers. So I have the front view, the end view, and then the top view all showing. But because there are certain parts that are hidden, I need to use hidden line layer to draw those hidden lines. Then I use the construction line layer to extend lines just as guidelines for the other views. Once I am done, I can put off my construction line layer. Then I have the actual drawing showing the visible lines and the hidden lines. We go to the status bar to toggle the line weight on or off, just to show the different line weights of different lines or different layers. As a simple recap, I would recommend that draw on different layers when you are drawing different objects or different line types, just to show how professional you are.